D-Wave just got something that most quantum stocks can only dream of, a $100 million letter of intent tied to the US Chips and Science Act. And to me, that sounds a pretty loud message. The US doesn't see quantum computing as some distant science project anymore. I say it sees it as a strategic national capability that could shape economic power, cybersecurity, defense, and global technology leadership. But here's the catch. D-Wave isn't a normal tech stock, and it definitely isn't valued like one. The company is chasing massive quantum opportunities while it still carries early-stage risks, high losses, and an extremely rich valuation. And that's why in this video, you're going to learn what D-Wave actually does, why this $100 million LOI matters, and whether the stock's upside potential is actually worth the risks that investors are taking on today. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal bestselling author. I've been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. But that's a good thing, because I'm right here with you, breaking down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/Ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. Okay, so D-Wave is one of those companies that sounds futuristic the second you hear the name, right? Quantum computing. That phrase alone makes a lot of investors think of science labs, super-cooled machines, government contracts, and maybe some breakthrough that could change everything 10 years from now. And honestly, that's part of what makes this stock interesting, because D-Wave isn't selling some boring product into a mature market. Now, before I go any deeper, if you haven't seen it yet, I am so excited to tell you that I'm going to be interviewing the CEO of D-Wave right here on the channel. So if there's anything that you want to know about quantum computing, now is your time. Let me know all of your questions in the comments below. I will read every single one of them. And while you're there, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss that interview. And that's exactly why I want to set the stage here, because D-Wave is exciting, but it's also very complicated. Investors aren't really looking at this company based on what it is today. I say they're looking at what it could become. D-Wave's a quantum computing company that's focused on quantum systems, software, and cloud services. The company is best known for pioneering something called quantum annealing, which is an approach designed to solve complex optimization problems. This is basically about finding the best answer out of a huge number of possible answers for supply chains, scheduling, logistics, defense planning, materials research, and even financial modeling. And the company is the only one offering dual platform quantum computing, spanning both annealing and gate model computing. Its annealing systems are already commercially available, while its gate model technology is aimed at larger scale applications later on. So investors have to think about the current business customers that can use the products today and the future business that still has to become commercially viable at larger scales. Now, before I go any deeper, I wanted to say that this is exactly the kind of company that I like to talk about inside my community, because stocks like D-Wave need far more than surface level headlines. My community is one of the fastest growing ones here on YouTube, and it's completely free to join. There, I talk about specific companies like D-Wave or options trading or specific issues that folks are having with individual companies. So if you want to join me there, just scan this QR code on the screen or check the link in the description. Okay, so now let's talk about what actually D-Wave does. D-Wave develops and sells quantum computers, including its Advantage 2 annealing system. That system is designed for optimization workloads, and optimization is the key here. This is where the company is trying to solve real-world problems like supply chain optimization, scheduling, and materials research. Customers can also access D-Wave's quantum computers through cloud platforms instead of owning the hardware outright. And for many companies, it makes sense to access quantum systems through the cloud. Makes sense to me. D-Wave also provides software tools that allows developers and enterprises to build quantum applications. So the company isn't just trying to sell hardware, it's trying to build a full quantum ecosystem that spans hardware, software, and cloud access. But the bigger question here is whether D-Wave can actually turn that technology into meaningful, repeatable revenue. Because with early stage deep technology or deep tech companies, the tech can be impressive, but the business model itself still has to be proven. Now, D-Wave may have one of the most interesting technology stories in the market today, but of course, revenue, losses, dilution, and valuation still matter. But before I get to that, the biggest recent development is the one that probably got most investors' attention in the first place. D-Wave announced that it signed a letter of intent for $100 million in funding under the U.S. CHIPS and Science Act administered by the U.S. Department of Commerce. Under the agreement, D-Wave would issue $100 million in common stock to the U.S. Department of Commerce. And that's important because this would validate the company's quantum technology stack and its role in advancing U.S. leadership in quantum computing. And to me, that is a very real angle. This isn't about D-Wave just getting money. To me, it suggests that the US sees quantum computing as a strategic capability that could eventually influence economic power, cybersecurity, defense planning, and global technological leadership. And when a technology starts getting framed that way, investors pay attention because strategic technologies tend to attract funding, partnerships, and national priority. But that doesn't automatically make the stock a buy, but it does make the story harder to ignore. The proposed funding would help accelerate the development and commercialization of D-Wave's quantum platforms, including its upcoming R&D facility in Boca Raton, Florida, and its existing R&D centers in New Haven, Connecticut, and even in Burnaby, Canada. And the goal isn't just to build better machines, it's to expand domestic quantum innovation and bring real-world quantum applications to customers. And that last part is critical because quantum computing is exciting, but the market needs proof that these systems can actually solve valuable real-world problems. And that's why this letter of intent matters. But don't miss the other side of this story, right? Even strategic funding can create dilution. And in D-Wave's case, the agreement would involve issuing common stock, like I said before. So while the funding could help strengthen the company's roadmap, existing shareholders also need to understand that more shares means reduced ownership, and that's the trade-off. Capital can help D-Wave move faster, but capital is definitely not free. Right now, D-Wave is targeting big markets like national defense, advanced materials, drug discovery, financial modeling, energy optimization, and artificial intelligence. And again, I'm going to keep this grounded. There are enormous opportunity areas, but the opportunity is not the same thing as revenue. Notice that a company can have exposure to massive industries and still take years to turn that into consistent financial results. The company is also working on next-generation systems, including a targeted 100,000 qubit annealing quantum computer and a 10,000 qubit gate model quantum computer. Annealing is mostly used to solve optimization problems, while gate model quantum computing has applications in areas like quantum chemistry and energy storage. So D-Wave's annealing systems are already commercially available, but the company expects its gate model technology to become commercially viable at larger scales. And that sounds great, but I really do need to bring this back to investors because a great technology roadmap doesn't eliminate the risks. The more ambitious the roadmap, the more execution has to go right. And D-Wave has a lot that it needs to prove. Like many early stage deep tech companies, D-Wave may actually need more capital to scale, especially if its operating losses continue or maybe increase. And sometimes dilution is worth it if the capital helps the company grow into something much bigger. But it also has to raise the bar. And D-Wave also has execution risks. That includes cost overruns and R&D, delays and roadmap milestones, and slower than expected performance improvements. Even though D-Wave has customers, the storage is still early stage, and converting bookings into recurring revenue is not guaranteed. Revenue is still relatively small and uneven, and enterprise adoption of quantum computing may actually take longer than expected. If adoption does take longer, the valuation could come under pressure. So the risk here isn't just that quantum computing fails. The risk is that it actually does work, but it just takes longer than investors are willing to wait. And that is an entirely different kind of risk. It's not a technology risk alone, it's a timing risk. And D-Wave also has a competition problem, and I don't mean a small one. The company is competing with much larger and better capitalized companies like IBM, Google, and Microsoft. And these companies outspend D-Wave on R&D, talent, and infrastructure. D-Wave also needs to compete with other pure-play quantum computing companies like IonQ and Rigetti. And these companies offer their own different approaches, and one of those approaches could eventually prove to be the winning model. That's what makes the quantum computing investing landscape so difficult, at least today. And it's why I wouldn't treat D-Wave like a normal software stock or a normal semiconductor stock. It's much more speculative, more volatile, and it's going to depend heavily on future milestones. But that's also why some investors are so attracted to it, because if the company executes, the upside could be meaningful. So now let's connect that to the stock itself. Well, in the last 52 weeks, D-Wave has traded in a range of between $13 and $47. But right now, the stock is trading much closer to the lower end of that range. Over the past year, the stock has delivered strong performance, rallying about 55%, but it's also facing some near-term weakness. So investors are dealing with two stories at the same time. The long-term story is still exciting, but the market has started questioning those near-term fundamentals. Despite the bookings, D-Wave has experienced sell-offs because investors are questioning the company's small revenue base, operating losses, and uncertain timelines around commercialization. And that's the issue with the stock. D-Wave is spending to build the future, but investors still have to be patient. And a lot of viewers have flagged the same concerns about D-Wave's valuation, and honestly, that concern makes a lot of sense. When a company has high expectations baked into the valuation, it becomes more vulnerable to downside moves whenever performance falls short. Now, if you've been watching D-Wave but think, look, you want to own it just maybe 15 or 20% below where it's trading today, check this video up here because I talk about how you can sell a put option on a stock you want to own and wait for it to potentially come down to your price. And guess what? If it does come down to your price, you get to buy it and you got paid to buy it as well. So now let's have a look at valuation. Right now, D-Wave is trading at almost 377 times sales. And if you think that's a big number, well, it's actually an extremely high number. And it tells you the market isn't valuing D-Wave based on what the business is earning today. It's valuing D-Wave based on what investors think the company will become in the future. It also trades at around 8 times its book value. Again, none of this is automatically wrong. Some companies deserve higher valuations if they're building something truly important. But the higher the valuation, the more pressure there is to execute. If D-Wave becomes a critical layer in quantum computing, today's valuation could eventually make sense. But if commercialization takes longer than expected, or if another quantum approach wins, the stock could struggle. So is right now the time to buy D-Wave? Well, consider that a consensus among 15 analysts, they rate D-Wave a strong buy with an average score of 4.67 out of 5. And the mean to high target prices suggest the stock could more than double over the next year. Now, I have to say that I always treat analyst targets as just one single piece of the puzzle. They can show sentiment and help frame expectations. But with D-Wave, the biggest questions are whether the company could scale, whether customers adopt quantum solutions fast enough, whether the roadmap stays on track, and whether the valuation leaves enough room for mistakes. And the $100 million in proposed funding from the government does validate D-Wave's technology and its potential to advance quantum computing. But at current valuations, the market is clearly pricing D-Wave not on today's financial performance, but on a hope that one day it becomes a critical layer in quantum computing. And that creates a wide gap between present fundamentals and future expectations. That gap can create an opportunity, but it can also create pain because so much growth and success are already baked into the current multiples, right? The company's got very little room for error when it comes to execution. D-Wave could offer some significant upside if quantum adoption accelerates, but it could also face massive downside if commercialization proves to be slower or less scalable than expected. So here's how I would think of it. If you believe D-Wave can win an important place in the quantum computing race and you can handle the volatility, then maybe consider opening a position. But you do need to understand what you're buying. This isn't a cheap stock or some mature, predictable business. You're buying into a high expectation company in an emerging market where the potential upside is huge, but the downside risk is also very real. And if you think the valuation is too stretched, then it might be probably better to wait for a sharper pullback before pulling the trigger. That would be the more patient approach. Because sometimes the best move in a spec stock is not to chase the dream, but actually it's to wait for the risk-reward ratio to make a lot more sense. And with D-Wave, that's especially important. The company has a powerful narrative. It's got government-linked validation, commercially available annealing systems, and a roadmap aimed at much bigger quantum system. But it also has operating losses, it's got dilution risks, it's got intense competition, and a valuation that already assumes a lot of this goes right. So for me, D-Wave isn't a simple yes or no stock. It is a belief stock. You either believe the company's quantum platform can become commercially important enough to justify the valuation, or you don't. And if you're in the middle, well, there's nothing wrong with watching it from the sidelines, at least until the numbers give you a little more confidence. Because the story is exciting, but the stock is not cheap. And in markets like this, that difference matters. But now I want to turn it over to you. Do you think D-Wave is one of the best ways to invest in quantum computing right now? Or do you think the valuation is already too stretched? And do you think the $100 million letter of intent is a real sign of strategic validation? Or is the market getting too excited before the business has fully proven itself? And before I go, did I get this right? Did I forget something? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really does help others find the video. It supports the channel and it makes sure you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again here on YouTube or in my community. Bye for now.